Coming up on Look Today, well, another protest took place yesterday outside Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's office in Glens Falls. I've got details. And a special meeting took place on affordable housing in Saratoga Springs. More on that coming up. Plus, Governor Cuomo announces $1.1 billion in public school funding. Got those details. All ahead on Look Today. Welcome everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Jay Hood Jackson, and this is Look Today. Well, in tonight's program, I sit down with Marty Vonix. He's a president of Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership, and he's here to talk about economic development in our community and an event that's happening on May 9th. I also sit down with Deborah Brennan. She's Assistant Director of Rehabilitation Services for Saratoga Bridges, and we're joined by Patrice Mastriani. She's the owner of Serendipity Cooking and Art Studio in Saratoga, and they're here to talk about cooking classes that will be made available for those with mental disabilities. Plus, we have your weather for the Tri-North counties for this weekend, but first, these headline stories. Well, in our lead story, another protest took place outside Congresswoman Elise Stefanik's office in Glens Falls yesterday. Constituents protested the Congresswoman's decision to vote in favor of the American Health Care Act. Now, protesters are fearful that by repealing the Affordable Care Act, millions will lose health care coverage. Well, we were at the demonstration and spoke to a new 21st District congressional candidate, Patrick Nelson.
Well, I mean, this had been planned for a while because this has been an ongoing issue. It just so happens that the vote is scheduled today, so now is the pertinent time to be out here voicing our concerns and letting the Congresswoman know that if she votes for this bill, the North Country will remember come November of 2018.
What a contentious issue. Wow. No easy solutions out there, that's for sure. All right, in other news, a special council meeting took place in Saratoga Springs. It was on inclusionary zoning laws, which are part of the Affordable Living Initiative. Well, the zoning laws state that for every 10 housing units that are built in a zone, 2 of those must qualify as affordable. Now, members of the community spoke at the meeting. Some were in complete favor, while others were concerned with financial burden that this would have on multiple parties. Well, some raised the point that it would make sense to focus on more affordable apartments. Well, we were at that meeting. Cheryl Hage Perez, who's the chairwoman of the Affordable Housing Task Force, spoke.
It's not that everybody's herded into this area or herded into that area. There's choice, there's inclusion, and it will continue to grow the number of affordable housing units for the city. So in that respect, the task force does support the inclusionary zoning.
Now, we will have more on this on Monday with commentary and opinions by those who are connected with some of the logistics on this issue on both sides. All right, switching from news to weather. Today saw rain, temperatures in the 50s. Let's see how the weekend is shaping up. For a more detailed look at our weather, let's head to the Glens Falls Weather Center for a look at your first forecast.
Thank you, Jesse. As we take a look at the First Look Weather Center right now, we're going to continue to watch more clouds, more showers hanging around as that low slowly slides back out to our east. Low of 48 degrees overnight. We're going to see those winds back out of the east between about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We should see things ramping back up a bit more out of the south, 10, 15, 20 mile an hour winds tomorrow. But still pesky showers with us as we go through the daytime Saturday, but it will still be warm. This cold front is yet to push through. We'll see a high of 67 degrees. Moisture out there pretty high at times, and that's going to continue to be the case as we head out the door tomorrow morning. The good thing is we won't see the heavy, steady rain. It'll just be more passing showers, cloudy skies, pesky showers. Keep the umbrella handy, though, 49 to 54 as we head out the door. As we take a look at the extended forecast right now, still more wet weather Sunday and Monday, but that cool down arrives. 56 degrees the high Sunday. Monday, 50 degrees. We'll finally get high pressure back in there as we look ahead towards Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Sunshine moves back in, should hang around a while as high pressure slowly filters across the region for much of the next 5 days behind Monday. That's it from the First Look Weather Center. Now let's get back to you, Jesse.
Well, thanks, Brad. All right, back to the news. Well, the state of New York will spend a record $25.8 billion on public education under the 2017 budget that was passed. Now, $1.1 billion of that will be spent on public high schools throughout the year. Now, included in the bill is a $5,000 stipend for 60 of the top teachers throughout the state. Well, nominations will be due later this month, and we'll have updates for you on that and anything else associated with this school budget. All right, up next, I sit down with Marty Vonix. He's the president of the Saratoga County Prosperity Partnership. He's here to talk about economic development in our communities and an event that's happening on the 9th. I sit down with Deborah Brennan. She's Assistant Director of Rehabilitation Services for Saratoga Bridges, and we're joined by Patrice Mastriani. Now, she's the owner of Serendipity Cooking and Art Studio in Saratoga. They're here to talk about cooking classes that will be made available to those with mental disabilities. But first, if you see news happening, you want to share a story idea, how about join us for an interview? Give us a call on the hotline. The number is 798-8000. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition of Look Today. It's Friday, so I need to thank the crew. Ladies first, Antoinette, Dana, Bridget, and of course the gentlemen, Andrew, Drew, Jack and Joel, Bat, and Norm. They make this show possible each week, and for the last 3 weeks especially, it's really been something. We've been covering a lot of things and having trouble actually getting it inside the 30-minute time frame, so there's a lot of 2 and 3 parts to a lot of these stories that we're covering. We'll get into that next week. Remember, Facebook, please go there. We're getting some very interesting comments about things that you're concerned with, you're entertained by, you're thinking about. That really helps us focus on community-based news. And a perfect example probably is this affordable housing task force and the inclusionary zoning law meeting that we attended yesterday. There are a lot of sides to this thing, and we're going to be covering all of it. It was interesting. When we were there today, I think we interviewed everybody in that room separately on different issues pertaining to this, because it affects people that are looking for housing, people that can't afford housing, the developers who are trying to create the housing. So we're going to be dipping into this a lot next week. In the meantime, have a safe weekend, everybody, and we'll see you Monday night for the stories that matter to you. Good night.